All right. Hello out there, YouTube. What's going on, everyone? It is D Dunn here. I'm the average gaming dad. We're back on MLB The Show. I think it's been about a week, a little bit longer than I wanted to, so my apologies on that. Um, but yeah, let's get into it. So, where we left off last time was we fell short again of the wild card. We had some pretty devastating injuries late, like later on into the season. Um, I mean, Sanzatella, not a great starting pitcher, but still, he was part of our rotation. Ezekiel Tover, he was the big one. He was out 5 to 6 months, and he started off so hot. His first roughly 300 at bats, he was hitting over 300, slugging over five, almost a 900 OPS, already a WAR of 3.1. So he was off to a really, really strong start. Then dislocated ankle took him out for the rest of the season. Jay Cave, bench bat, he was in and out. Harold Castro, he was another one of our best hitters. Hit 278, 321 on base. Not much of a slug, but he was top part of our lineup as a DH. Negative WAR. I don't really know why. I guess just because he wasn't hitting home runs as a DH, but we didn't need him to. It was tough. It was tough. It was tough. We had some guys step up that we needed to and played okay, but not to the level of our starters. We also had Nolan Jones. He was a huge letdown this year. After a solid season last year, we were hoping for kind of some more growth. Instead, he just continued to regress. So I'm looking to possibly move away from Nolan Jones in the future. I don't know. All in all, it was pretty frustrating. The highlight, of course, was Zach Eflin. He posted an insane 2.43 ERA and a .99 WHIP. Led the league in both of those categories, ERA and WHIP, but somehow did not get a nod as a Cy Young even candidate, and somehow is regressing. I don't know how this game works sometimes. Kind of crazy, but nevertheless, he was an all-star and he was really good. We tried Painter. 45 innings isn't a huge sample size, but big enough. And almost a 6 ERA and a .6 WHIP is not great. So it just wasn't good. I feel like we're really lacking big impact players, except for like Tover, who, like I said, got injured. Duvall was kind of up and down, but let's go ahead and get to the off season. Let's sim through a few weeks here. Saying an injury during today's game will be out 1 to 2 months. You can replace him on the playoff roster. Let's just replace him. It doesn't matter. Just simulate. The Argots have been defeated in the 2024 Eastern League Championship Series by the Flying Squirrels. Better luck next season. So our AA squad went pretty far, which is always good to see our minor league guys growing. We also had a number of guys in the top 50 top prospects, which was really, really nice to see. But anyway, let's get back to the playoffs. We'll sim a few days here. So we got Houston versus Detroit in the ALCS and Atlanta versus San Diego in the NLCS. Okay, so San Diego ended up going a long way. They ended up they were the second seed. Wow. Okay. Oh, I guess in the wild card, that makes sense. All right. And they beat the Dodgers to go on to the NLCS. Interesting. Houston beat Tampa Bay, and Detroit beat the Rangers. Okay. Let's sim another few days. So we got Detroit. We got Detroit in the World Series versus San Diego. Let's see what happens here. Game 1 is taken by San Diego. If we can't win, at least represent the National League well. They are now up 2-0 over Detroit. Now 3. Is this going to be a sweep? No, Detroit takes 1. Reverse sweep for Detroit. maybe. Tied 3 games apiece. Game 7. And the Padres defeated the Detroit Tigers in the 2024 World Series. Okay. All right. So we've done 2 years so far in this franchise. Have yet to make the playoffs. We have come within a game or two both years. I'm really hoping that we have a good pool in free agency. I want to find some really true impact players for the ball club. Let's see. So no retirements from our team. Any other notable names? Justin Verlander. He goes out at the age of 42. He finished a number of years in Houston. Had his last season with a 4.19 WHIP and a 4.19 ERA and a 1.36 WHIP. Not the best way to go out, but holy, what a year in 2022. What a maniac. Mike Moustakas. I'm not seeing a ton of names. Mark Canha, former Oakland Athletic legend. Matt Carpenter. Yu Darvish. Some notable names that you've seen in the league for a while. Jose Alvarez. Oh, not the regular Jose Alvarez. Okay. Okay. So some names in there. No Hall of Fame inductees. Okay. All right. So who are our exclusive free agents? We got Jermaine Marquez. I think he's definitely worth holding on to. He had a really, not a great year, right? 4 ERA, but he's steadily improving the past few years. He progressed a lot, and he would be a solid, 4th, 5th man. We are not going to give him a qualifying offer. We're not paying $20 million, but we will still gift him an offer. I think probably, 3 years, like 9.5 in the rotation. He seems to like that deal. I like that deal. I think that's fair for his production. Andrew McCutchen, we had to go out and get as a DH. He came in and hit the ball really well. I would be okay with a 1-year deal. Past that, I don't think it's really worth it since he is regressing. But he would be at least an option for injury. If we can get that for 3, a solid veteran presence with a good bat. He can play defense if needed. Brent Suter, relief pitcher, had a great year. And still progressing. Look at that. Home run per 9 went up by 9. He only gave up 4 home runs in 57 innings. That is really good, especially for the Rockies. He's old, but if he can still pitch, we'll take him. We'll ask for a year at 2.5. Luke Jackson was not good, and Daniel Bard, 39 years old, 55 overall. No need to re-sign him, but we will try to keep Suter, McCutchen, and Marquez. Marquez being the bigger name out of the 3. All of our staff members are still with us. We do not need to rebrand, so let's head to free agency. So we have qualifying offers. We're not offering any qualifying offers. No one's worth $20 million out of that group, so no need to stop simulating there. All right, so our 40-man. Who do we need to protect? Let's look at our highest potential guys and look for guys that are eligible for the Rule 5 draft. Chase Dollander is one. He surely would get picked up, so we'll add him to the 40-man. Zach Veen is eligible, So we will add him to the 40-man, one of our best prospects and one of the best prospects in all of the MLB. Gene Larkin, I think it's probably time that he'll make his MLB debut this year after a year or two in the minors. Who else is likely to get picked up? Benny Montgomery, not eligible. Wish there was an easier way to see who is eligible or not. These 50 overall guys, very unlikely to get picked up because if you're unaware, in the Rule 5 draft, if you pick up a player, you have to start them. So it's very unlikely you're going to play a closing pitcher that's 68 overall. All right. The rest of these guys, I think, are probably okay. All right. The rest of these guys, probably not going to get picked up. So we should be safe. Okay. So our 40-man's good. Arbitration for Casey Mize. He came in and was pretty solid. He started off incredibly hot, cooled off towards the end of the year, finished with a 4.2 ERA, 1.4 WHIP, which is a little high, but a positive WAR. He's 27. He's young, a potential. Definitely want to give him an offer. I'll lock him down for, I think 4 years is solid. We'll see how he progresses. I don't want to. It's not like he really blew our socks off, you know? So there's no need to go crazy. But I think $5.5 million a year for 4. And then we'll offer arbitration at say 1.2. All right. So we'll see how that goes. I imagine that Casey will take that contract. Now the fun part, where you have to sign all these guys down the list. Andrew Painter, 6'7", tall, lanky dude. All right. So we definitely want to re-sign him. However, like if he would have had come in and made a real impact, I would offer him, a 7-8 year deal right off the rip. It wasn't the case there. So we'll just start with a 3-year deal. Looks like we can get him on a steal as well. I think $200K is more than fair for a top prospect. Dollander. He's likely to see the MLB soon. Oh, yeah, we also went out and traded for MJ Melendez, who came in and did okay. A little bit of a slump over last year, a little bit higher slug. But, for now, he's going to be our starting catcher. Eventually, it will be Romo, I think. But Melendez, he's a guy that will likely be a fixture. I think I could commit to 6 years. He had a big progression. He's very likely to just get better. He can play multiple positions that we need. No, I think I'm going to stick with 4 years. It'll make him cheaper. If he ends up not being the star that we need, he's definitely going to be an everyday guy though. So that might be able to get us for even cheaper. We'll go 4 years, $2 million. I think we can get a lot out of him for that dollar amount. Playing Moneyball over here on a team that actually has some money, at least compared to, say, the Oakland Athletics, which was the previous rebuild. Joe Perez. He was actually okay. He was actually pretty solid in limited appearances. We'll give him we'll offer 3 years. 633, that works. Datres ended up coming in to fill in for Tovar once he was injured, and he actually had his statistically was not good. He was not ready for the show. He was forced into the position. He's definitely not part of our long-term plans, but as a backup, um, he's solid. I think, 3 years for 300K, I think is more than fair. The rest of these guys are just minor leaguers that are on year-to-year contracts. So just kind of breezing through these. Whoa. That's actually some really good progression. What's his overall? 62. He might see some action. I don't know if 700K is. It might be a little bit pricey. But our bullpen also needs some help. That's why I think it's time to bring Gene Larkin up. He did really well in AA and AAA, and so I think he's earned the nod. Forrest Stoddard, this dude, holy, what a progression. Not the best defensively, but first base, as long as he can field, he's probably fine. He can hit the ball. I have a sneaky suspicion this guy could end up being pretty good. If we can get him for 6 years at only $1 million, that could end up being a huge steal. So we're actually it's a little risky because we don't really know exactly if he has a place on the team. But with those hitting stats, he could easily be a leadoff guy. And we might look to do that. So many one-year minor league contracts that we have to get through. I wish there was a way that you could just like just check a box and be like, just offer them whatever the base contract is instead of having to go through these one by one. But it's not too bad. All right, now here is the deal. Free agency, and holy hell, look who we got here. Juan Soto. His deal is done with the Yankees. He hit 50 homers. Like I said, we needed an impact player. I think we're going to go all in on Juan Soto. Let's do it. 8 years, max contract. Can we front load it? No, we can't afford to front load it. Okay. Who is costing us so much money? If we have $187 million, where is that money going? Wow. It's all going to Chris Bryant. I mean, Jordan Montgomery was worth it. Kyle Freeland is not worth it. McMahon was awesome. Duvall was worth it. I think it's time. We're going to kick this off right off the rip with a trade. Chris Bryant came in from Chicago, had a big impact his first year in limited at-bats. And year one was average. Year two, average. And we're paying him $26 million. Absolutely not. Kyle Freeland, a lefty with a 5.3 ERA who's collecting $13 million and goes up even more next year. Absolutely not. Chris Bryant, Kyle Freeland, you guys got to go. We're going to make a trade. We are going to make a trade. We are going to get out of these bad contracts. and make room for hopefully to land a huge free agent. A huge free agent. So Chris Bryant was one. Who was the other one? Kyle Freeland. $13 million for 70 overall. Absolutely no shot. Let's suggest a trade. I will take prospects or MLB ready players. Or a combination. Okay. Orioles are offering us dog shit. We do need a lot of help in the bullpen. Getting another reliever could be really nice. Another solid starter could be good. If we can find... These are pretty low offers. I mean, I know the player, but if we can get these contracts, I'm not really too concerned how much we get in return. You know what? In a potential catcher, that's a position of need. I know we have Melendez, but that could be great. Sean Guerrero. Third base is also, we need some depth there. Another outfielder could be good. Starting pitcher is good. We're going to go with the A potential 18-year-old Sean Guerrero. Let's offer. Good deal. They accept it. All right, let's take a look at our new catcher. We do have Romo, who is like... 1 second, please. Someone just... Is that the mailman? Oh, yep. The evil mailman came to drop off the mail. The dogs are not having it. All right, so Sean Guerrero, what do we get? 18 years old, 6'5", 196. What a stud. Pretty good defensively. Not a huge arm behind the plate, but that's okay. Might get injured, only 67 durability, decent hitting stats. He's only 18, a potential. Okay, that's fine. So now we have some really good solid depth down here for catcher. So we have Melendez, we have Romo, who's likely going to take the lead in a year or two once he can figure out how to hit at a major league level. But I'm okay with that. We dropped some huge contracts, and now we can go after the big fish, Juan Soto. We will offer him. I'm gonna go $10 million, or not $10 million. Let's go 10 years. We'll give him a player option. Let's front load this thing so that as he gets older, his contract will become cheaper. Let's make that offer. That would be massive. Now, okay, great. $350 million contract offer out for Juan Soto. That would be massive. That would be a huge get. Outside of that, what do we need? It's a great question. Let's take a look at the roster. Starting pitcher, I like the first three. These three are solid. We really need a 4-5, but we have some young guys that just need some experience, and so maybe we just do that. Maybe we just eat a 4 and 5 spot and hope that these guys progress. It's not the best, idea. It's not secure. I'll put it that way. A little risky, but if at least we know our first three guys can pitch at a 4 ERA or below, that's solid. That's solid. Relief pitchers, definitely an area of need. The guys that we have performed pretty well, but we have two 34-year-olds in the bullpen. They're not going to last much longer. Matt Koch was awesome. Tyler Kinley was awesome. Gene Larkin should come in and be awesome. I think maybe just like one guy that's hopefully under the age of 35. Eventually, I know these closing pitchers are going to develop. Justin Lawrence was not great, which is really disappointing because I do like having him. Catcher, we're okay with Melendez. Harold Castro might end up being the odd man out. He's terrible defensively, but man, can he hit consistently. We got McMahon at second. Third base, I think, we should look at. Third base, probably another outfielder. Jonathan Daza, Duvall, who's getting old. We could look to maybe bring up Veen. Actually, maybe we don't need that much. Really, I think we just need that one big bat that's going to make the difference in our lineup. And maybe a relief pitcher. But if we can land Soto, that would be massive. I mean, we literally can't give him any more money except for just giving him more years on his contract. All right, so we have 65 million in pending offers and a surplus of 81 million, so that means we should have about $15 million to play with. We also got to have some really bad contracts, which is really nice. All right. So we got Armstrong. Why do I not know this guy? Seems pretty good. AJ Minter is usually pretty good. How are we doing on like lefty righty arms? So we got lefty, righty, lefty, righty, righty, lefty. Okay, we got a pretty healthy mix. Liam Hendricks, maybe. He's 36, but he could be a solid addition for a year or two while our younger guys get MLB ready. Paul Sewald. I just don't really want to sign a bunch of 35-year-old guys. Lucas Sims have had a couple pretty good years. He could be reasonably cheap, about $4 million a year. Loizaga. Andrew Chafin is usually really, really good. But he's already 34. He's still progressing, though. We could go with a reliable lefty arm. $4.5 million. We'll offer him. Okay. Looks like we'll have to go up to 5. I don't know if I'll go more than that. And then I like the look of Lucas Sims. He's had 2 back-to-back pretty good years. No one else. Let's see, the Pirates 3 for 12. I would go 3 for 15. $5 million a year. Should be a solid enough offer. And anyone else? Ooh, a Pete Alonso could be another big addition, but I don't think we can afford him. Glaber. I know we talked about third base. Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman. Ooh, he had a really tough year last year. Really regressed versus lefties, so probably not the guy we want. J.D. Davis. He's okay. Progressing a lot. Jace Peterson is an okay option. Could also be a good utility piece. How much would like a year for Jace Peterson be? 4.9. I do like the idea of having the flexibility there. I'd be willing to do like 1 year for like 3.5. I doubt he accepts that. Someone else is going to outbid us, but I don't want to overspend. Ledmus Diaz, holy, hitting lefties, plus 11 to lefties. That would almost make him viable for us. Former Oakland Athletic legend. I use the term legend very loosely, of course. But he's good defensively. Had a good year. Can't hit for power, really. But Juan Soto, of course, is a big hit. Now, if we don't get Juan Soto, we'll have a ton of money, and then maybe we go after like a Tyler O'Neill or a Verdugo. Actually, I really like Verdugo. Santander might be an option as well. But really, I think we have a couple offers on the table. We still have all of our regular contracts that we need to sign. But the big name is Juan Soto, is what we're looking at. Maxed out his deal. I think it was 11 years we gave him. So let's go ahead and sim a day and see what happens. Andrew Chafin accepts the Mariners' offer, no longer considering ours. No need to stop simulating. Twins get Corbin Burns. Okay. Let's take a look at what we got so far. Signed a number of our minor league guys. So far, no one is offered on Juan Soto after a day. Could we get Juan Soto on a steal? I don't want to lower the offer yet. Let's sim another couple days, see where we're at. Still no offers on Juan Soto. We're going to edit our offer. I'm still fine with 10 years. I still want to front load the contract. But we are going to cut this down considerably. If no one else is going to even offer on Juan Soto, like why would we pay him the most amount of money possible? We're going to take this down to $30 million. Clearly he's worth more than that. And if someone else takes the bid, then we will, of course, up our offer. But let's go ahead and submit this 10 years, $30 million, so $300 million total. And if no one else offers, that saves us so much money. So we will take this very slowly. Apologize for going back and forth through all the menus. We get Casey Mize back. That's a big get. Lucas Sims signs. That's a solid relief arm. So I'm really happy with all that. So we still have Juan Soto, Jace Peterson, Andrew McCutchen, which if we get, we don't get. We might end up cutting him anyway if we get Soto. But still no offers. Let's sim a day. I know this is probably, from a viewer perspective, I'm sorry if it's a little disjointed going back and forth through these menus, but I don't want to sim like 5 days and all of a sudden someone submits an offer that blows ours out of the water and he signs. Clearly, we had 2 days where we offered him a huge contract, and there we go. All right, so finally some teams get in on the mix. The Angels with a big offer and the Braves. We have to beat the Braves. 7 for $239. I still like 10 years. Actually, let's just go. Still want to front load it. There we go. Wow, that still doesn't get us. Okay. And if we go 10 years, player option, max, that barely gives us the lead. What does he like? He's not a huge fan of the region. He does like his star role. There's really not much else we can do except for maybe make it 11 or 12 years. I'd be okay with going to 11, I guess. He actually doesn't like that. Okay. So what if we go 8 years? What does that look like? Player option, front loaded. And then 9 years? Just kind of playing with these numbers, seeing what he likes, what he doesn't like. Because this is a huge get. Seems like 9 years is kind of the sweet spot. Okay. Okay. We still got an offer out on Peterson, McCutchen, and Suter. These are just, kind of small pieces. The big one obviously being Juan Soto. I was hoping maybe he would get lowballed by other teams, but it seems like the Braves and the Angels are pretty serious. We are, of course, there's literally nothing else we can do. What if it's like a 5-year deal? Maxed out, player option. Okay, that's not good. So we'll stick with the 9-year. That seemed to give us the best results. We'll sim 2 days. Still in the lead. 40-man has to be set by tomorrow. We're fine there. Okay. What other contracts do we need to sign? Because worst case scenario, we run out of money. We don't have any huge contracts except for AJ Melendez. It's not even huge. So I don't think we have anything at risk to put this deal in jeopardy. And there it is. Juan Soto accepts the Marlins offer. They offer him 10 years. We were offering him 10 years. We maxed out the dollars. And so he does not sign. He goes with the Marlins. Yes, I do want to stop simulating. Miami Marlins, huge deal. They get Juan Soto. The big fish, ironically. Damn it. That sucks. That honestly really, really, really sucks. I really wanted Soto. Okay. So now, who's our best get after Juan Soto? I guess Alex Verdugo. I was really looking for a guy with some big pop in his bat. No one else even comes close. I mean, we could go out and try and make a trade. That's so tough. All right. We really wanted to make a splash in free agency. We tried our best, my friends, but we did not do it. All right, we'll offer on Verdugo. Defense is great. Speed is not great. He's progressing at a pretty rapid pace. Last year he hit 22 homers. Great on base guy. Or a 4. That's really good. We want 5 years. 5 years seems good. He would definitely be a star. Let's I don't feel like we need to front load this. I really like to front load big contracts, just that way as they get older, they get cheaper and more tradable. Yeah, we'll give him what he wants. 5 years, $11 million. I think that's fair for a player of his caliber. We could also, look to go out and get get another pitcher just to shore up the rotation. Maybe give our guys down in the minors another year or two. We could even do like Chris Sale and Clayton Kershaw. Just have the oldest starting rotation in baseball. Worth it to sign Kershaw? He pitched 210 innings last year at 36 years old and posted a phenomenal ERA of 3.13. If he's cheap, I would sign him for a one-year deal. $11 million. Let's do it. We'll try and get old man Clayton Kershaw. Chris Sale's also regressing, but not having a stellar year. I don't need to sign two geriatric men. Okay. So we'll try and get a veteran arm in. Strom looks pretty phenomenal. We have all the money in the world now. I'll offer him a year for $12 million. That seems fair. Okay. What is with the Braves? They're just spending all the money. $13 million for 2 years, $26 million total. That maxes him out. Okay. Feel good about all that. There's really no like young. Could get former Colorado Rocky legend C.J. Cron. No. Glaber, no. Bregman? No. He's regressed too much. JD Martinez? No. We already have Duvall, who's old. We don't need another. We're just going to have a team full of old-ass dudes. Tyler O'Neill. I mean, I feel like we're just looking at another Nolan Jones. Pretty similar production. Actually, even worse. Nice big power versus lefties, but he only hit 15 home runs and 500 at-bats last year. That's not solid. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for impact guys. Santander. He had a pretty good year last year, 23 homers. Really slow, though. Not really great defensively. So I don't know if that's the option. Soler, though. Slugging .578. Should we bring some Soler power? A lefty masher? Probably wouldn't be the worst idea. No one's offering on him. Who would be our Conforto? Renfroe. We gave him a shot. He didn't not do well. Last year he was with Miami. He did okay. But I'm kind of intrigued by Soler. He's not really regressing. We could DH him and be a 2-year deal for just under $7 million. That would be kind of a steal. Lots of old names. And we do have some young guys that need to see some time. But we could have some bridge players. I'm not opposed to that. I don't know what's taken these three so long to sign. All right, so we're still in the lead on everyone here. Matt Strom would be a real good get, especially if we can steal him from the Braves. Okay. Another few days. All right, still in the lead on everyone that we're offering on. Another few days. Damn, I still can't believe we didn't get Soto. Wait. Oh, Jace Peterson. Okay, so Peterson signs. Not a huge get, but he's a solid addition. Rotation piece. He might end up starting in AAA, but at least we have an option. He excels at pitch hitting, so that's something. Okay. Mother. I hate when this happens. We've reached the maximum roster size and cannot sign any more free agents. Any outstanding offers have been withdrawn. So I really hate that MLB The Show does this. Like, there should just be a warning that says you've reached the max amount of players, you need to cut players, or like the next day, your free agent signings are going to be voided. So now all of our offers are gone, which is annoying, and now we have to go through and see who's not going to make the cut. All right, so let's go down to the very, very bottom of the list here. Are there any, here we go, Medina? I mean, to see potential reliever, if these guys were position players, I would certainly cut them. Here we go. Although Pena can actually hit the damn ball. What's a position that we have just $1 billion of? We have so many starting pitchers. All right, so we have 21 out of 15 needed. So we're going to cut Mears. We're going to cut Olivares. We're going to cut Ryan Rollison. Okay, so that puts us of 18 out of 15. Relief pitchers, we have 19 of 15. I'm okay with that. We probably don't need this many closing pitchers, although I don't want to get rid of Lawrence. I'm sure there's some, yeah, all right. I can't get rid of Coke. He was awesome. Jake Bird, we can probably be fine without him. We'll release him. Any more deep potential? No, we have no deep potential relief pitchers except for Coke, who I actually like. Anyone that's older? Josh Rogers is only 60 overall and he's 30 years old. He's an easy release. Okay. Do have a lot of catchers. We can probably get rid of Cerven. Can't hit the ball. First base, let's get rid of, nope. Although he might be the odd man out, but Jim Haley, deep potential, 30 years old. He's getting the axe. This is a good thing, though. This is a good thing, though. When we're having to make decisions like this, that is not a bad thing at all. These guys actually have some bat potential. Eddie Diaz, he is going to get the axe. Datres, he did okay. Aaron Schunk. And I could trade these guys. I just don't want to go through all that because we just need space on the roster. Britton Doyle, you can go. All right. Also, we have so many, like, we have now, what, 2 D potential players on the entire team? All right, so now we have to go through, put our offers in. Verdugo was 1. Kershaw was 1. Strom was 1. Right, and Verdugo. Okay, we still have Verdugo. I think that's all the offers we had, just these 3. Okay, and we certainly cut enough people for all those guys. So we should be good. We'll send him a few days. All right, so we land Matt Strom on a 2-year, $13 million contract. Okay. We also land Verdugo. That's huge. So we do get a pretty impactful bat in the lineup. He's not Juan Soto. He's not 50 home runs a year, but he's still a good get, and he's young, so we have him for a while. Gives us flexibility to move away from Nolan Jones, who's been a huge disappointment. I think he'll also become our highest rated player maybe now. No, Nolan Jones is still it somehow. Okay, but he's up there. We still have yet to have anyone on the team that's a 90 overall or above. But we have. This is what I'm most excited about. Look at the potential as I scroll down the list. B's, A's everywhere, some C potential guys. But these are all guys with really high ceilings that we're working with here. So I feel really good about that. Surely in another 2 or 3 years, we're going to have an amazing team. If we look at the depth chart for like 2029, 85 overall, 86, 88, 91, 83. Like, there's a lot of guys here with some serious potential. Okay. All right, we still have an offer out on Kershaw. No one else seems to want the old man. We're very happy to take him. Oh, Soler was 1. Soler was 1. That's right. Let's give Soler, I'll offer him 2 years. $8 million a year. If you can hit 30 home runs, which if he had a full season at bats, he could hit 30. That could be a get, especially from the Padres, who beat us out of the wild card spot. We can't let them get their hands on 30 home runs, because that's how I'm looking at it, right? We're not getting Jorge Soler, we're getting 30 home runs for the squad. That's how I see it. Okay. Okay. I want to do a quick player search. We're going to look any position. I'm looking for anyone under 24. Free agent specifically. I don't care about overall. I'm just looking at potential. That's like let's say like, we'll call it like B plus or above potential. Not contact, potential. Not overall. Potential, there we go. Minimum is 85. Are there any free agents? Like, I'm looking at like free agents who didn't sign with their teams. No one. Okay. Because there was a lot last year. Luis Garcia, 24 years old, B potential, plays second, third, short. Good contact skills. Let's look at him. Luis Garcia at second base. Number of teams want him. They're only offering him 1 year for $2 million. My friend, we'll get you into the big, maybe not into the big leagues, but he could start at third if we needed him to. How would you feel about joining our squad for $4.5 million a year, 5 years? What? He really wants to be a Yankee. He wants to be a Yankee so bad. All right, how about 4 years? $5 million. Okay. Wow, he really wants to be a Yankee. And if he wants to be a Yankee, that's fine. Tony Kemp down here, former Oakland Athletic legend. But that would also be a nice get for the future. All right, the draft lottery. Let's see where we got. We are currently picking at 13. We have a 0.9% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. How lucky are we? It's a great question. All right, while this simulates, I need to go check on my dinner. Thank God I did. I almost burned my dinner. All right. We stay at the 13th spot. Any big movers? The Diamondbacks move up 5 spots to number 2 overall. The Mets move up 6 spots. Royals stay where they are. Giants were big losers, dropping 4 spots. All right. But we pick in the top 15, so that's not bad. All right. Rule 5 draft. We'll go to the draft because if you simulate it, your team will sign the stupidest players imaginable. We're going to skip a selection. Yes. Although if you're like an A's, a Padres, like a really low budget team, the Rule 5 draft is not a bad place to pick up some talent. Okay. How's free agency going? Still no one wants Kershaw. What if we up it? We have, no, we don't have the money. Where did all of our money go? We might not be able to afford Soler. We're going to withdraw the offer on Kershaw. I'd rather have Soler. Oh, of course we got Verdugo. We knew that. Strom. All right, so we got Soler. We still have $7 million. And now people are going after Kershaw. But we can't afford him. So it's a good thing we revoked that contract. Okay. So that's probably going to be it. All right. Let's go to spring training. All right. We are officially in spring training. Let's take a look at the roster. So our ratings rank overall did not really go up that much. We're still sitting at 23rd. Our contact is still good. Our power went up a little bit. Our pitching is better. And our defense and speed went down a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. I still think we're a squad that can get into the playoffs. I believe that the last 2 years, though, and that didn't work out. But I like this. We got Eflin, Montgomery, Mize, 3 solid guys. Marquez, Painter, Dollander are like the 3 guys behind that may or may not make an impact. Hopefully one of these guys makes a step up. Between Painter and Dollander, I want one of these guys to make a step up. We got Strom. We got Sims. Huge impact guys. Larkin's going to get his MLB debut this year. So we should have a really solid bullpen. Okay. We got some familiar faces. Romeo Ivy, at 18 years old, might get the start. He looks like he's pretty solid. But at 18 years old, he's going to start in Double-A. Toglia, Castro, some familiar names over the last couple seasons. McMahon was a stud last year. I wish he was faster. We might put him at third because he kind of lacks speed. But he was awesome. He did have some injuries, but still knocked 26 homers. Of course, we got Brendan Rodgers, who is not performing super well, but is still okay. Jace Peterson will be a backup bat. Tovar was amazing. Let's hope that he continues his great start to last year, continues that on. And then we'll have Duval. We'll have Daza. We'll have Verdugo. Soler probably DHing. Melendez behind the plate. Maybe Veen gets some time come September. But we did also make some big moves, getting out some really bad contracts. We didn't get the big name free agent that we wanted, but we still, I think, got some really good pieces. So next episode, we'll sim to the end of spring training, see who's playing well. That might make an impact on who we have in our starting rotation. And then we'll play our first couple games, but that'll be it for this one. Dang, I really wanted Soto. But all in all, I still feel really good about this offseason. I think this is the year where we make the wild card. If we don't, that's okay. We'll keep grinding. But I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, really mean a lot if you left a like rating. If you're new, consider subscribing if you really enjoyed the content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for your time.